Hey there, you're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hi guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Daniel from Tenside. I sing for the band.
Hi, this is Honey from Tenside. I'm the drummer of the band. Today we're here with the Chronicles of Podcast, together with Tom and Jamie, having a great time.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the 119th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these right here are the Chronicles of Tenside. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me as always this week, this handsome fella right here.
It's Scotsman Tom. Hello everybody. Welcome back for another fun-filled and entertaining week. And welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit it!
Ladies and gentlemen, this week we are bringing you two very special guests. This week's guests are a member of an incredible German metalcore band who, quite frankly, deserve to be on the top of any bill that they are playing on. Here to talk all about their brand new record, Come Alive Dying, and so much more. This week we play another game of Jamie trying not to offend his guests of his terrible pronunciations and names, because we are joined by Daniel Kuhlemann and Johannes Jorg as we bring you the Chronicles of Tenside.
What's up?
Was I close? Was I at least close?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yes, I'll take
Good
close.
job,
That's
dude.
fine. I'll
Good
take
job.
close. As long as you're not, that was terrible, I'm out of here. No. We're good.
And how's your day been, guys? So far, how's your Tuesday been?
So far, so good. A little busy, but yeah, I'm alright. So can't complain.
Yeah, is that for the music side of things or just life admin?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, I'm a little bit tired. It's already late in Germany. But it's alright. So I will find some rest afterwards. No worries.
So sorry. It's because Jamie here has children, so he has to put them to bed first. That's why we always go so late. Otherwise, he won't get left alone, and we'll have to have random kids chatting the way through the interviews and whatnot. So yeah.
Easy.
So I apologize. I know you're an hour ahead, so we do apologize massively, but we
It's
appreciate
all
it.
good. It's all good, man.
How about you, honey? You okay?
Yeah, we chatted a bit before we recorded the podcast. I'm doing all right. It's a bit rough at work at the moment. The stuff that I'm doing besides playing music with the other guys. But other than that, I'm doing great.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you do?
I'm a salesman, actually.
Okay.
I work on trade fairs and sell stainless steel bottles to people.
Ah, okay. Well, say no more. The fact that you said you work as a salesman already makes me go, yeah, I'm not surprised.
So, gentlemen, before we talk all things Tenside, take us back right to the beginning, back to the days of youth when you were growing up. What did you want to be when you were growing up? We'll start off with you, honey.
To be honest, I think in preschool, I did want to become an engineer of some sort. But as soon as I picked up the drumsticks, I think I started when I was 12 or 13 because my dad was a drummer. I always wanted to be like him. Since I picked up the drumsticks, there was basically no other option than to tour full time and make music as much as possible.
Nice. What about yourself, Daniel? Oh, sorry.
I come a long way. It's not the end of the road. There is some stuff to reach for sure, but I think we're doing good for the moment.
To be honest, I never had one of those wishes like I want to become a soccer player or whatever. For some reason, I never had. And then there was this day when I was like really young and my parents were in holidays and my older brother, he brought me to a Rage Against the Machine concert when I was still a child. And I've watched this concert beside of the front of house guy behind the barrier because at this point I was just a small little dude. And yeah, I watched this show, and basically this changed my life. And from this day on, I wanted to become a musician, actually. And I never worked something else beside of music industry or making music. Um, and yeah, here I am still doing it. And yeah, that's my story.
That's amazing. I love the fact that both of you, really young, were like, no, this is what I want to do. I want to do music. And the fact that you got to see Rage Against the Machine as a small child feels slightly inappropriate, but amazing at the same time. But where you say like you're influenced by your dad and you're influenced by your brother, is that where that love for music came from them, or was it from out? Did you discover it on your own?
Definitely. My dad had a huge record collection, which in hindsight I didn't really admire back then. Like he it felt kind of like a torture to listen to all this nowadays you call it dad rock.
That's my job.
But once you turn a certain age, I think there's like a switch inside your body that automatically turns you into liking dad rock. And it feels a bit weird, but now I'm listening to all the bands my dad used to listen to when I was young. And I think that kind of got me into music because music was in our house, basically in every room, 24 hours a day. And my best friend back in the day, he had an older brother that introduced us to Korn and all those bands and Slipknot and Deftones. So I had the chance to really get into that kind of music from a pretty young age on. And his older brother used to play in a band already. And so being around band dudes, even if they're not famous or something, that definitely helped to shape what I want to do in the future.
That's amazing. What about yourself, Daniel? Was it your brother's influence for you or elsewhere?
When it comes to heavy music, definitely, because my mom is a classical singer, and I also have a lot of music background in my family, from uncle and aunt and so on. All of them played music in bands or in orchestras, or there's still some family music background. And my mom told me like all the time that she's happy about when one kid would start to make music. So my brother also played a little in the younger years, but I finally managed to become a musician, and it just feels all right, man. So I'm okay with that. Music is the biggest thing for me since I'm a kid. In every mode I have every day, and I can't live without music. So yeah, that's the main thing. So yeah.
That's incredible. Did your mum teach you how to sing? Or did you teach yourself?
No, because as you can imagine, like it's a tough thing if your mom is singing classical stuff and
Yeah.
and you come up with all those heavy bands like screaming and yelling like crazy. And that was quite a challenge at this time. But finally, I earned some respect after the years.
Okay, good.
And yeah, so I'm well accepted now in the family. So
Yeah, good. I should bloody well hope so as well, mother.
I just want to hear you and your mom have like a sing-off now. She's like classical, just screaming.
Yeah.
That's how you settle arguments in this family.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But what was the point though where you went from being a fan of music and loving it to actually wanting to go out and play it and do it for a living? Because both you're saying both your parents are musicians. Was it seeing them being like, if they can do it, I can do it?
I actually never saw my dad play live because he was like in Germany. There's this weird dance music culture where you have like a cover band that does like all the smash hits from the from the different decades, and my dad used to play in one of those, and they were like pretty famous in like hotel party, and in Germany we would say Festzelt, like beer garden kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he mostly played at night, and mostly played far away as like kind of an extra attraction for Northern German people or Austrian people. That's why I never got to see him to play with his band, but I for sure watched him countless times in our basement play the drums.
So what was it then that made you go, do you know what, I'm going to do this?
I think just the energy that you get from the first couple of live DVDs that were a big thing back then. I mean, you basically try to watch every video that came out, and I recently read an article about Korn's Asylum DVD and how far ahead of time it was with the crazy menu it had and all the secret stuff you could find on it. And I actually do have a copy of this at my home. Yeah, I purchased it back then, and somehow it made it through every move I did in my life. And I haven't watched it for like at least 10 years, I think. And I recently just put it in my Xbox. I'm glad that I have something that can play DVDs. That's I think the main point that got me into wanting to play songs live. The energy, all the people around you, the screaming, the people that really dig your music. That was the main driving point, I think.
That's awesome. I remember that DVD. Me and my friends used to quote something from that DVD all the time. I remember. I remember says it was his head. He was like, "Oh, you knocked over my beer. Yes, yes, yes." I just unlocked a memory from about 15, 20 years ago. My God. What about yourself, Daniel? What made you decide you want to sing? Teenage rebellion against your mom?
A little bit of this for sure, but I mean, I've also watched shows from my mom back in the days when I was younger, and I remember being at a bigger concert also with my mom at Olympic Hall in Munich, watching different kind of bands and things. And then when the time was right, I've started with different instruments to just learn one. And I started with keys, but that wasn't the right thing for me. And tried a couple of things. And then my brother and myself, we got a drum set, actually. And we shared this drum set. And at this time, I've started to had drum lessons in music school beside of my normal school. And I had a lot of fun playing drums, actually. And my brother, or my older brother, he was on the run with a few friends, and they built the first band, you know. And then he took the drum set from at home to another rehearsal space, and we've lost the drum set which we had at home. And at this point I was quite like, okay, what the fuck? Then I stopped playing drums, so I want to have a guitar now. And my parents were already a little bit sick and tired of me asking for another instrument again. So I had this little backup money from my grandmom, which was planned to get my first driving license later. But I've spent the money for a guitar amp and a guitar. So. And I remember this day because my dad told me like, yo, it's your money, so you decide now. It's the car license later or the guitar with the amp now. It's your decision. So I took the guitar and started playing guitar and actually formed my first own band. Yeah. And yeah, the rest is history. So I just did backing vocals at this time, and then later become the singer of the next band and so on. Like, and yeah, and that's how I end up in Tenside. So
amazing. Best decision ever made, that is, right there.
Yeah, I hope so, bro.
No, definitely. Trust me when we start getting to this.
I mean, I still got the car license, you know, so no worries.
Yeah,
there you go.
I still own one, even if I see the red light all the time. So, I mean, it's true, yo. So I'm not fucking around. So ask Honey. I have bad luck when it comes to this. Like,
I feel there's a story here for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless times. Daniel could be on time, should be on time, would be on time if the fucking car wouldn't break down all the time. It's like, sometimes when we have to get up really, really early for rehearsals, or if a tour bus picks us up early in the morning, I do have to make some wake up calls because Daniel's afraid he might oversleep.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes I give him a call in the early morning, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm awake. I was already under the shower. I'm making my way to Munich. I'll be there on point, promise." And like 30 minutes later, it's just like another alarm clock. There's a message from Daniel. Yo, dude, my car broke down. I'm on the way to the repair shop, get it fixed. I try to be on time. So after a lot of times, you get used to it, and somehow we in the end we always make it on time.
yeah, somehow.
What you need to do, Dan, now is just leave the day early, the day before, because then you'll get there. Just leave the day before. Then if it breaks down, you've still got the whole of the other day to like get it sorted.
I just think musicians have bad luck with cars. The amount of musicians I know or spoke to are just vans breaking down all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible, man. I remember like the last day of the Killswitch Engage tour we did a couple of years ago. And on the last day of the tour, our nightliner broke down like, I think 2 or 3 hours before the final show, the last show. And then the crazy thing, so we finally managed to get to the venue by tons of other cars. I can't remember anymore. Like, did we get an exchange bus or?
Yeah, there was like we've been traveling together with the Revocation guys that also had a support slot on that tour, and our nightliner broke down that we shared, and we were waiting next to the highway for a different bus that was going to pick us up, and
it was kind of a holiday bus.
It was a holiday bus. Yeah, it was. It was like one of those buses that gets you to your holiday. So with no beds and stuff, just seating, like 40 seats for like 10 people. And that bus took us to on time to the show in Nuremberg. And after the show, we had to go by taxi to our actual tour bus. That was parked at some place where they tried to fix it. And as soon as we got into the taxi off from the venue, the guys from Killswitch Engage wrote us that their tour bus actually broke down as well. So they were stranded in Nuremberg and had to catch their flights in Frankfurt.
Fucking hell.
That's a nightmare.
Two buses in one day. That was kind of funny and kind of sad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, touring and traveling with a band is like, it's always a nightmare, if you ask me. Like, you come in situations you can't even imagine.
It's almost like there's somebody going around like fucking with the buses. It's like somebody's like, do you know what I mean? Someone's following tours where I'm going, I know what I do, and starts fucking with the wires and fucks up.
I think there is an actual security check for every tour bus before it leaves on the road. And there's just one guy in each tour bus company that takes care of getting bands into trouble. Yeah. It's like a certified job. Making sure some wires are hanging off or what.
Insane.
Yeah.
So we should talk about Tenside. I was doing my research and I saw the band's been going since 2004. Is that right?
It's 2005, actually.
2005. I do apologize.
Yeah.
But did I read somewhere that in your first year you won a contest to play in front of 2,500 people? Is that right?
Yeah, this is right. Yeah,
that's insane.
And it's like, yeah, actually. So I went to school at this point, and we have this huge radio station in South Germany, which is called Antenne Bayern, and they are quite famous, and they made a school band kind of contest. And yeah, so I did it for my school with my band. And yeah, for some reason we made it into the finals, and then we had some radio interviews, and people could vote for the band, and you got some real radio plays. At this time, it was actually the first time to be on a media control major radio platform. And at this point, we just had the first real single done, which were out at this time made in a real studio and everything. And yeah, we finally won it and made it under the first three, if I remember right. And the prize for it was this big show, which took place at Zeppelinfeld in Nuremberg also. This is the same place where Rock im Park takes place in Germany, one of the major festivals. And yeah, the only boring thing was that you only could play 3 or 4 songs, if I remember that right. But it was funny. Let's call it like this.
How old are you if you were still in school?
I'm sorry?
How old are you if you were still in school?
Right now?
No, when this happened.
Oh, I think I was 18 at this time.
Fuck. 18 years old playing in front of that many people in the first year. That is insane.
Incredible.
Yeah, this all was just a crazy start at this age, like. But for some reason, it was like the first kick into this direction where this all takes place. So yeah,
that's insane. But obviously, Johannes, you didn't join the band till 2018, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. The first January in 2018. I switched jobs to the job where I am currently and switched bands on the same day.
On the same day?
Yeah.
Okay, now what a busy day that was. But
it was quite a busy day, yeah.
So how did you end up joining the band?
I think we all know us longer than I'm playing in the band. Our bass player Johannes, he had a different band back then that used to play a lot of shows with my former band I was in, and Michael, our guitarist, he had a former band before Tenside as well, which used to play a lot of shows with the bands Johannes were in and the band I was in. So I think Daniel hit me up when Flo, the former drummer of Tenside, decided to leave the band. It was like not on short notice. It was like a planned exit, if you want to call it that way. He just wanted to stop playing music, and so we all had time to adapt to that. And then I basically learned 5 songs. There were like other people in a pool of possible drummer options. When I learned the songs, I think I wasn't the best in learning the songs, but I used to manage. I managed to come with the guys to do a bit of drum tacking and just being on the road with all of them, just to see if it's the right vibe and if I can work on drumming later. And somehow it worked out, and here I am. Nobody kicked me out until today, so I think I'm good.
I was gonna say until today. That exclusive on this interview.
We all have seen Jay Weinberg just got an email, so it can end up being that way at some point.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Where did the Tenside name come from? I'm always intrigued. I know this question's really boring because so many people ask it, but I'm always intrigued as to how you got there rather than, where the name came out. So where did the Tenside name come from?
I mean, we were like really young at this point, and so what's the right word for Latin, honey?
you told me what Tenside is about when I started playing with you guys, but I can't remember. It's something chemical. I think it's when chemicals react, and when chemicals react, there's like forces turning up and like punches against each other.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but that's what stuck to my mind.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
No, sorry, Daniel, go on.
Yeah, that's quite right. Yeah, so that's where it came from, and yeah, we still stick with the name, so it's all good. Yeah.
No, it's great. I just wasn't sure if you're big fans of dodecahedrons. That was all. So
Yeah.
you know, a 10-sided shape. That was all I want to know. That's all I want to know. I'm always intrigued as to how people come up with these names, because obviously there's so many bands out there now.
Yeah.
So many that obviously at some point someone's going to either have the same name or whatever, and everyone's already taken other bits and pieces. So it's just on the journey how you got there.
Yeah, mostly it's like free for all those metalcore bands. It's like mostly bands with 3 words in it, and
Yeah.
like
there's a certain types of eras for band names. I mean, there was this king kind of era, fit for a king, the fit for era with fit for a king, fit for an autopsy, and all the other bands.
Yeah.
Then there was like at some point there was like an Atlantis era, where Lower Than Atlantis and all these Atlantis bands popped up.
It's so true though.
Yeah.
But it obviously it's insanely hard to do the same, to name anything. I think we struggled with this podcast for ages. So I think it's the point where it's like, oh, well, someone's taking that sounds shit. I don't like the idea of this. Someone could take the piss out of that. So actually finding that name. So I think Tenside's a great name. It sounds Japanesey to me.
Yeah, why not? I mean, thing is, like, the truth is, I still remember, even if this is like years back, that I was sure about that the band name has to be just one word. Not 3, not more, not like this whole sentence kind of naming, or like, yeah. And I'm glad we did it like this, because Tenside, it's all right, man. It's just one word. It fits well. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So how did you find your style then? What made you want to go down the metalcore road?
Well, I mean, I would say as a musician or playing metal, I mean, we tried different things. We sound totally different now than we did back then. It's a whole journey becoming a better musician. I mean, basically that's the whole story. And like people asking like all the time, why is the new stuff sounding like this and why is the old stuff sounding like this? But the answer to me is simple: because you grow, not only as a human being, you grow as a musician. And this is the thing. So we don't want to do the same album twice. It's always a challenge for us to create a record. It takes a huge amount of effort. And yeah, we're super proud of those new songs we've created. And even if people trying to tell us, yo, this is metalcore, or this is modern metal, or this is already hard rock, or even if people saying this is dead rock, whatever, man, as long as somebody likes the music we've created, I'm happy with it, because we make music for ourselves.
Yeah.
And if there are people out there, they like to listen to it, then I'm very thankful for this. But yeah, I hope I explained this well.
No, absolutely. As soon as, because I listened to the album before I wanted to get you guys, oh my God, it blew me away. It's fucking phenomenal. I'm not just saying it because you're here, but like as soon as that first track went, I was like, oh, it's just right on my alley. Yeah, perfect. And every track is just a banger after banger after banger.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, not at all. So it's fuck those people that are like, oh, you've changed your style. Oh, you've like, okay, great. Well, just get over it and get on with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
get the record.
Yeah.
I get it though, because although a completely different style of music, my favorite band's Kiss, and no two Kiss records sound the same. Like they've tried loads of different sounds and eras and looks over the years, because you've got to do it. You've got to stay fresh. You've got to keep yourself artistically challenged. So I completely get it.
100%.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah. And if you ask me, this is how a band can be there for decades, you know? Like this is the only chance. I mean, of course there are bands who found their style and they really sound like this and they're doing their records over and over again. And for some bands it might work, you know, but for other bands it's really different. And especially in the times we live now, almost everything is allowed. I mean, if you're listening to Sleep Token, for example, they bring in so many different styles of music, and in the end, it sounds amazing. It fits great, and a ton of people listening to it and coming to their shows, you know. So yeah,
absolutely. But you guys have had an incredible career to this point. Looking back at what you've done, supporting bands like Trivium, Soulfly, Killswitch Engage, like we talked about, playing Wacken and Summer Breeze Festival, things like that. What was it that got you to those opportunities? Was it a certain song that hit, or was it just that constant working and building your way up?
I would say definitely hard work as a band. We're still doing it, and we still love to play music together as friends because the vibe in our band is really a friendly one, and we treat each other very well. And yeah, as long as everybody wants to go in the same direction and put in the work, then sooner or later you get something out. I mean, this journey takes like super long and how shall I say? I mean, it's always a little bit of luck involved, if you ask me, and also a lot of business things these days. We are still a small band. We are still a self-managed band, and yeah, putting in all the work, you know. So
no, absolutely. Honey, how do you structure your songs then? Do you come in with, I've got this drum beat, do you want to check this out? Or is it the guitarists first that come in and go, I've got this riffs, you know? Or has Daniel gone, here's his lyrics, let's put some music to it. How do you structure your songs?
In a perfect world, I would have all the drums ready for future records and just lay it out.
Yeah.
That's the drums. You guys gotta adapt to it.
Keep dreaming, my friend.
But that's not how this works. Basically, Michael writes the majority of our music, including the drums for the most parts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Michael has, I don't know, a weird fetish about computer stuff and all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it took him like 6 months or so to adapt to my drumming. And all the demos he showed us after that time were like perfectly drumming wise. Like he analyzed what I love to do, the kind of fills I want to do, and he already throws them in there. So I basically have like almost next to no work at all, because like he's showing me something. He's like, listen to the drums. Is that what you want to do? Am I kind of right? And I listen to it and it's like, yeah, dude, it's spot on. I mean, I would change up the fill a bit, but basically it's spot on. I don't know what I do want to change. And for most of the times, I just change up like verses. Michael gives me like a pretty rough idea what he wants to sound the verse to be like. And then I'll take it home and just fiddle around with the drums and try to make it a bit more interesting than what he brought to the table. But basically, that's how we write songs. And Daniel has like a shitload of lyric sheets flying around at home, just basically waiting for the perfect moment to drop one of his lyrics on the songs. And that's basically it.
So is Michael like AI?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's pretty accurate. I've never met someone in my life before that
Yeah.
can like analyze people's like what they want to play, what they want to hear. And if you can throw 3 songs at him and tell him, hey, I think it would be fine if we in the future have a song that goes in that direction, and 100% I guarantee you 1 month, 2 months later, there is a song that is in his style, but aims directly where you were asking him to go. That's
Nice.
insane.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough to say that Mike is definitely the best musician in our band, 100% for sure. He's the mastermind behind all the instrumentals for our sound and for our band. He takes care of the recordings as an engineer and as a producer. And yeah, he's just a great brother and even better writer. So yeah.
That's awesome.
So your lyrics then, Daniel, are they personal to you? Are they story based? Like how do you write your songs?
I wouldn't say story based, so it's definitely personally for myself. And I took a lot of time this time to create lyrics for the new record, and I rewrote and rewrite so many words and lyrics, and like since we had so much more time for this record because of COVID, we put so much more time in every single song of the record, and that's why, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure that I have for every song on the record, I wrote 10 different main lines, choruses, whatever you want to call it, and throw it away again and again and again. And I'm pretty sure I did sometimes more than 10 different versions. And yeah, it was my personal own effort to make the best record to date with my band. And I'm still happy with the result. More singing, still screaming, of course, no worries. But those instrumentals we've created as a band, they just needed clean vocals, and it felt very good to me, to be honest. It's not that someone showed up and told us like, "Yo, Tenside needs to be a more clean singing thing now," or whatever. It's just what we have loved to do for those tracks, you know. So yeah.
Yes, it's you could definitely tell that a lot of love and a lot of work's gone into it because it's again fucking great. So
yeah. Thank you, man.
Not at all.
I suppose we probably should talk about Come Alive Dying, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to repeat what Tom said. It is a fucking incredible album. Like from start to finish, it is phenomenal.
Bitte nicht
It
mehr
really
anrufen
is.
jetzt.
But what has the reception been like from the fans for the record?
Basically, it's been amazing. Like normally you get like messages from your friends telling you that the record's great, and you read comments on the internet about it being good from people you don't know personally. But we were pretty much overwhelmed with all the positive feedback we got from media, from fans actually reaching out to us via the private profiles on Instagram. I never have that. Normally it's just like people I know personally sending out congratulations on the new record, but there was like a shitload of people flooding me in my DMs congratulating on the good record, and how they like the new sound and how they like the sound in general on that record, and wishing me and the boys luck for the future. So I think it'll take some more days or weeks to just realize how many people actually listen to a small band. So most of the times you think you're a small band, 20 people are listening to your record, and then there's like chart entry place 6, and you realize, oh, there's a bunch of people listening to our music. That's pretty cool.
What about for you, Daniel? Because obviously you've been here since the start of the band. What has it been like for you with the reception to this record?
First of all, it's phenomenal for us to get so much feedback from all over Europe, the UK, the US, and so many people, so much media. This is really great. I mean, we've put a lot of work into the whole campaign as well for the record. And it's kind of crazy because since the record is out, I've got messages from people I haven't talked to for years.
Oh,
And also musicians and all tour people and whatever, and yo, they letting me know that this record is just a real banger. And I mean, this is a really special record for us as a band, and it just feels great that so many people see the vision of the record, that each song is important and it's not just one or two singles, because it's the whole record. Every single song on this record is important for us, and we've put a lot of effort and time into it, and it's kind of hard to pick a favorite, but in the end it just feels great. And it's a little bit insane that we've charted on number 6 in the mainstream top 100 album charts at home in Germany. I mean, our last record went to 45, I guess, yeah, which was also cool. But after all those years of finally receiving a top 10 record at home it's really a huge thing, and I'm super, super thankful for this. So yeah.
Yeah, I found it really difficult to pick out songs that really stood out, because I think they all hold their own sort of thing. But I had Darkness to Blight, which I absolutely love. Pitch and Gold, I absolutely loved, and Aim for Paradise. I think they were the 3 that, and then I wrote, and Dead Weight. But every song it just holds its own. It just flows beautifully, and it's just, yeah. I need to stop sucking dick. I'm really sorry, because I know you guys are here, and but I generally feel that way. But releasing singles for it must be so difficult. How do you decide what to release?
Dude, to be honest, I'm still thinking about, was that the right single or not? And then my first idea for a single was actually That Weight. And then the producer and everyone told me no man, this is not the right single, and maybe it's something different. And it's kind of crazy because every song is special, and the cool thing is that for different people it's different songs, but everyone seems to like it. So I mean, the whole record is out. Just pick whatever you want and give it a spin. Make it your single, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I wrote 2 songs down that stood out to me, and they're completely different to the songs Tom chose. Because I wrote down Shadow to Shine and Impending Doom. Those 2 songs are absolutely chef's kiss. So damn good.
Cool. So thank you, man.
It's such quite funny to say that. But what makes this record stand out against Glamour and Gloom, the previous record?
Pretty much all of the production. We finally got a pretty good team together. You can start with the drum recording for Glamour and Gloom. We really had to stay on a tight budget, and there was basically just a small room where we recorded the drums. At least we recorded drums. I mean, lots of bands just program their drums, and don't really put in the effort to play actual drums on the record. That's become a common thing, because you can cut costs for the album production immensely if you leave out drum recording. For the new album, we went into the Kuhlemann studio, which is pretty known for its drum productions. He has bands like Benighted that are more in the death metal era of things. Christian, who owns and runs the studio, he actually put out a video with Krim, who used to play drums for Behemoth. That he was in his studio a couple of weeks back, And from that on, there's basically we didn't change anything with the guitars because Michael does all the guitar and bass recording on his own, and I think that's the best way to do it. If you have someone in the band who basically owns Cubase, knows how to do it. And for I think what we did with the vocals and all the mixing and mastering stuff, Daniel was way more into that process. So I would gladly hand the word to Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, what shall I say? The thing is, like, we don't want to go into a real studio where you get like 5, 6, 7 days to track guitars and record vocals. And that's why we've decided long ago to build this own little studio where Mike is working mostly. And then the other guy, actually, he's the singer from this other band from Munich called Emil Bulls. He also runs a studio in Munich, and we did the vocal recordings we did together with Christoph von Freidorf at his studio, and then a few separate sessions at home and here and there. But that's really the thing for us, to have the time to create those songs and record it and re-record it and go through it all the time and listening to the songs and over again until you can't find any mistakes or any wrong moments, until it just feels great to give it over for the mix. And I think this alone for us as a band is like really important, because the whole process of writing and recording is pretty close to each other in our process by making a record. And yeah, then finally we've mixed the record in the US, in LA, and the record got mixed by Joseph McQueen. I mean he mixed like big things like Bury Tomorrow, SLA Dying, From Ashes to New, and he made it really sound brilliant, like really big, and it just sounds fantastic. And we're super stoked to got the chance to finally mix a record in the US. And afterwards, it got mastered in Nashville by Ted Jensen. He's like a really one of the biggest mastering engineers out there, and it's such an honor for us to got our record mastered from him as well. And we're just stoked with the whole sound and the whole process. I mean, it's our best sounding record to date. And yeah, I'm happy we did it this way.
Is it difficult to like decide track listing as well, like what song goes where?
Actually, it was not that crazy. I mean, Mike and myself, we just had a few ideas and going through it, and we ended up on the same page. I think we had one song in a different listing or something, but I think it just makes sense. So some people telling me that the second part of the record is much heavier than the first part. Maybe it is, maybe not. I don't know. But I think it just felt right. Yeah.
Amazing. And it's what I love about it is talking to you guys about this record. Passion that comes out of you. You can tell how proud you are of this bloody record. And so you should be. You really should be. But one thing we love to discuss with musicians on this show is the art of music videos. You've put some music videos out there into the world. Are you a fan of making them? Are they an absolute nightmare?
A little bit of both.
Only looks like he's just had Vietnam flashbacks. Just mentioning music videos.
I would say like receiving the final cut is a great moment when the whole video looks just great and everything is nice. But if not, then it can become a nightmare. And you know, how shall I say? In the end, it's not only because of budget to make a great music video. It mostly has to do with finding the right idea, the right location, and I mean, this is art. You know, you need the right people to create art and to make something special. And it's not easier to create something special simply because so many videos are out there, you know. And I would say like 90% of rock or metal band videos are just performing videos from 4 or 5 guys moshing into the camera.
Usually in an abandoned factory or something for some reason.
Yeah. abandoned facility. That's all it needs. There's this one light bulb hanging around. Somewhere.
Either that or a forest. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Extra credits if it rains in your video.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I don't want to bash anyone's videos.
Oh, don't do the forest again.
Oh, I love it. But you've not long played a few shows to celebrate the release of the record. You played 3 shows, I believe it was.
Yeah.
How were they?
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, plain amazing. I mean, we wanted them to be as intimate as possible. If we want to put it like that. I mean, we could have chosen bigger venues or go for more shows in a row, but we really wanted to just play some shows to in smaller clubs to really see if the songs work out live the way we imagined them to be. And it was just amazing. Like, we started in Hamburg in like a 250 cap room, basically more a punk rock kind of venue than like an arena that you could imagine. But it was amazing. I mean, we learned it the hard way that shows need to be planned, and things that could go wrong in punk rock clubs. We haven't had that in a long time, so there was like, we were all over the place before the show, but the show went great. And then we've been to Berlin and Cassiopeia. That's a club we always play when we're in Berlin. It's a small venue as well, but the sound system in there is great. People are great in Berlin. I think with people turning up in the evening, it was sold out, or at least it was close to sold out. And the same goes for Munich. It was like the biggest show of the 3. It was in a 450 or 500 cap, backstage Halle, the second biggest room there. And I think it wasn't sold out, but it was close to in the end. Like, with people showing up in the evening. I mean, it got crazy with all the touring stuff. I don't know if it's the same in the UK. I can imagine, but people don't buy their ticket in advance anymore. It's a lot of people showing up on that night, and you don't know if it's going to be a good show like until 5 minutes before you walk on stage, basically.
I'm not that crazy, but yeah, like yeah.
I mean, you know it in the week you're heading out for tour if the shows are being well received, and we were pretty lucky, I think. It looked a long time like that there weren't that much people on the shows, but 1 or 2 weeks before we actually got into the van, tickets started selling and selling and selling and selling. And so every night was just wonderful.
Yeah, and that was just crazy to see. I mean, even in the last days, we've sold so many tickets. Like, we just received phone calls when we were in the bus already after the first shows. Like, yo, we sold another 50 tickets now for Berlin. And that's kind of crazy to see that people now, like, after COVID, it's crazy. So do smaller shows, I would say, until capacity up to 500-600 people. People just waiting for the very last minute to get a ticket or just buy it at the door. But all of those crazy, fancy mega shows, they're selling out like super fast. For example, like all those mega events. Today, I just saw the headline that Adele is playing like 10 times now in Munich, in our home. And
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
times, and each show is with 80,000 people. So it's close to 1 million people with 10 shows. And yeah, it's just crazy. So all those big events, people buying tickets straight for a couple of $100. But when it comes to smaller shows, people just waiting until the very last.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. I mean, as like Hani already said, I mean, we got lucky. Almost all of the free shows were close to sold out. We had fantastic numbers. We had fantastic shows. And I mean, actually, that was our plan, to just make those free intimate concerts celebrating the new records. And we have now a lot of tour possibilities and a lot of festivals coming up and so on. And this will be a full year, like really full. But it's gonna be great. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And especially to returning to the UK this year. This
Amazing.
This is our number one thing to do this year for sure. So yeah.
I was going to ask if you were going to come here at all, because that was literally my next question. Because I saw you've got 3 dates announced. I think they're German festivals. I think they're all in Germany. 1 in June and 2 in August. Is that right?
Yeah, they're like between June and August. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I was
mean,
when
yeah,
you get over here.
all of those major festivals. I mean, we've already announced Summer Breeze Festival, which is really big in Germany, as well as Full Force and a couple of other ones. And yeah, there's a lot in the pipeline. Some festivals we are not allowed to announce yet,
Okay.
and as well as a couple of other tours and things. But yeah, we're on it and we're coming. So
Excited. I can't wait for you to get over here. I'm gonna be keeping my eyes
need
peeled.
to get back to the UK. It was I mean we were so well received when we opened up for Killswitch in 2019, and had plans for 2020 to do our own headliner run. But there was a thing back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Our UK headliner got rescheduled for 4 times, and then we finally lost it completely.
Oh. Because you released Glamour and Gloom like when the pandemic began.
Yeah, the
Like,
album.
literally, yeah.
The album came out in the first week lockdown. Like,
Yeah.
That must have been like, you're joking, right? We can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, what's going on? But
That
people thought it
was-
was like going to be weeks. They thought it was like, what was it like in Germany, by the way, if you don't mind my asking?
It was people were talking about it a long time before. I remember in the beginning of February in that year, I was on a massive trade fair in Frankfurt, and people were anxious about it getting shut down because of all the COVID stuff that happened in China during that time. And I remember us rehearsing for the release shows, hoping for them to take place. And I think we already tore down our equipment and got ready for tour, basically. And the day before we actually should have loaded our stuff in, it was a Wednesday, I think, and the first show should have been on a Thursday. At some point on Wednesday, it was all over the television and in the news that, like, from that day on, everything basically got shut down. And we're like, okay, that's cool. So we were in for a tour, and now that stopped. Well, let's see when that will roll on. And I think we moved the dates on a monthly manner, because at the beginning everyone was like, yeah, it's just 2 weeks, yeah, it's just a month, yeah, it's just 3 months. And at some point it was like, yeah, we moved the shows to sometime in the future, maybe. And I think from the tour that we've actually wanted to play, there were like 4 shows left that we played after all the COVID stuff. But we hold on to them and we played them.
Okay,
Yeah, plus a few extra shows and festivals, but in total, with all the tours and festivals and UK and so on, in total we've lost around 65 shows.
Yeah.
For the whole time. I mean, yeah, this album really got ruined. I mean, we just were lucky because so many people pre-ordered the record before it came out, so it went into the charts, and also a lot of people showed support, and we played a few of those COVID shows where later then, where people had to sit in the venues, and I remember we did 2 shows in Munich, 2 nights, because it was only allowed to play to 100 people. So we had to make at least 2 of those shows, but more than 2 wasn't allowed. And this was all crazy. I mean, but if you really think about it, it's not that long ago, This is the crazy thing. And I'm so glad that we're back now, back to normal, back to playing music again and doing it all over, even if this means that we have to put in even more work and even more effort. But I mean, as a band, we've managed to went through this whole COVID thing. I mean, it was crazy for everyone involved worldwide for sure, but I would say for people working in the music industry or in the creative process and so on, it was like extra hard because we really got fucked over. And yeah, I'm just happy that our band survived this, also as a family. And yeah, so we're here to continue. Yeah.
And take over the world.
Hopefully.
I just can't imagine an all-seated metal gig. That just must be weird.
That was pretty funny. At some point on day 2, I mean, we can talk about it, but it was like we promised to don't show pictures of it, because you can imagine, like, all the rules were pretty strict, and you had to be like you had to be at your place during the show. You were allowed to stand up, but there was like no dancing, no jumping around and stuff. You had to stay at your table basically. And at some point, I think it was like 2 songs before the show would have been over, there was like this one bench with like 8 people or 10 people, and during the show you could see that there's not much missing for them to just stand up and like dance like crazy. And at some point, I can't recall what the point was that got them into standing up, and they were like just standing up, running in front of the stage. There was like 10 meters between the stage and the first tables, and them running in front of the stage. And it was like if you would like just open a closed door where people think there's $1 million in there, and like the whole room just like got up, went in front of the stage, and the owner of the club ran on stage and was like, "You guys have to stop. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. That's not allowed." And we somehow finished the song that we started, and after that song, we had to calm people down to get them back to their places. So it was like being on a Turnstile show pre-2020 when they really were like a hardcore band. That was pretty wild.
The crazy thing is that this moment alone is something really, really special in my head, because the thing is, we don't ask people to stand up or anything. It was just the energy in the room. And there are a few videos which are not allowed to go out because of those COVID rules and whatever. But the thing is, like, even John from Darkest Hour, he also was at this show, and like a lot of other people, and they still telling us to date, that this moment was so crazy because it was just a chain reaction of like people freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Like that moment, dude. Fuck. I mean, like it's crazy. And yeah, so yeah, we got lucky, so we could finish the show and play the last two songs afterwards. But that was pretty much our COVID moment, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
I just imagine you looking at each other across stage going, yeah, we're fucking good. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
It was more like the fuck. I don't. We're hoping we don't have to pay for that accident.
Yeah.
we don't get fined for that.
I mean, I still see the club owner in front of me running onto the stage like, yo. And I was like, just, what, dude? What? I'm in the process, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. But before we start wrapping this up, if people are listening to this and they're wanting to check out some Tenside music, they're liking the sound of you guys, what's a couple of songs from the back catalogue you'd suggest that stand out to you that you reckon would give them a good feel for what you guys are about?
First of all, I would say just start at the Nova album, because everything before is just used synths, you know. But if I have to pick a few then I would definitely say from the Convergence album, This Is What We Die For. I would say As Above, So Below from Glamour and Gloom, as well as Only the Brave from Glamour and Gloom, as well as Cannibals and Along with the Gods. Also, maybe, Honey, you can tell a few from the Convergence. We're still playing live.
We don't play some of them live anymore because, like, you obviously have like a certain time on stage. So there are some songs we can't play live. At least there are in the set list for now. But I think Eternal Contempt from the Convergence record is a banger.
And Iron Will and Golden Heart.
Is definitely a song you should check out. And what's another song? Built for Eternity. I like that one. Haven't listened to it in a while, but loved playing it live. So I think there's a lot out there for people if they really want to get into it.
I think there are a lot of people who never heard about our band, so feel free to check our back catalog and also the new shit. You're very welcome.
The new shit is fucking great.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yo, listen to the new shit.
Incredible. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guests?
I do, and I'm going to start with Daniel. Because you've been in there since the beginning, when you started this journey, this Tenside journey, did you ever think this is where you'd be today?
To be honest, no. I think I would. Wow, I could never imagine to do this in my mid-30s. I mean, this was all just a fun time to start, and I'm still here. But hey, I'm super thankful for this. To be honest, I mean, playing music with a band for such a long time is just great. It just feels great to still play music, and I think there's still some time for us with the band. We still go on, and it looks good to maybe create 8 more albums until I'm old.
Yeah.
So,
that sounds perfect.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
What about you, Honey?
Actually, it's kind of the same as what Daniel said. I couldn't even imagine myself playing metal for that long, because like in my youth days, I started out in like a small hardcore band. Then I played in a punk rock band. Then I did some German black metal music, and it has always been like metal, hardcore, punk. And at some point, I've played in a dancehall band. Like dancehall was a big thing in the southern part of Germany way back. I was like 20 or something. And I always thought at some point I'd make a switch away from metal more into pop or hip hop or that kind of music. But somehow I always end up playing in metal or hardcore bands. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love playing metal for sure. But I couldn't imagine myself to be playing in a metal band or in several metal bands until this day. I thought at some point I might be grown up, stopping playing music that's not as commercially successful as pop music or rap music is. But I'm still here doing it with my best friends, loving every minute about it. So
amazing.
That's great.
I think just the thing was being in a band or making music is once you're in, you're in. And it's kind of hard to leave this behind you because, I mean, of course we know people who've played with us and they're out of the band or out of other bands. And if you met them, it's like always the first sentence is always like, yo, I've missed playing music. I'm so missing to be around with all the dudes, missing to be on tour and so on. And I think for some people, it's really a big part and a great feeling, and it's always hard to leave this behind. So, and as long as it feels good, keep doing it, because that's the only thing which helps. Yeah.
And you were saying that you thought you'd want to drum with a pop music. Well, I hear Adele's got some shows going, so she needs a drummer. You never know.
I might ring up my good old friend Adele. I'm desperate for a job, Adele. Please hire me.
Get me out of this sales shit.
While I've got you, do you want any metal bottles? Just gents, before we let you get out of here, any plugs, social medias, websites, anything you want people to go check out?
Yo, feel free to hit us up via Instagram. It's called @Tenside Music, Facebook, and all those social medias. You know, you can find us there as well as on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. And our website is tenside-music.com. So yeah, everything is available there: merch, CDs, vinyl, and so on. Feel free to check our dates, and we're hopefully back in the UK really soon. We will let you know. And yeah, we can't wait to be back, man. It's time, yo.
Absolutely. That vinyl, by the way, the vinyl is beautiful.
Thank you.
I was saying, oh my god, I was looking on your website, that the gold of the black splatter, like, oh, so sexy.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, it's an artist from the UK who made all the artworks, and yeah. So yeah.
Incredible. Gents, thank you so much for doing this. It means the absolute world. We've had an absolute blast talking to you guys.
Great times.
Likewise.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
I know it's late, so it's it's graciously appreciated, but it's been so much fun.
It has been. And I hope
great.
we're coming back with the next record to you guys.
Yes.
That was a pleasure.
Honey, that's already written in the stars, mate. That's already going to happen. Don't you worry. I'll be all over the Noise Cartel, telling them that we need you back when that new record comes out. So what we'll do when you come here is we'll sit in front in person and do this.
That would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I feel like that could bring us to a whole nother dimension of having fun.
It'll be disgusting.
Yeah.
But guys, again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's late, so we massively appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, we'll definitely catch up soon, and we look forward to seeing you when you come over here.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
It'll
Enjoy
be
the rest
fun.
of it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fucking great. But
I'm
enjoy the
sure
rest of
about that.
Yeah. Already got plans written down. Sorry, writing down. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this. It's, fucking brilliant.
Yo.
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much yet again. And genuinely, the album is fucking great. It really is.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
But enjoy your evening, boys, and we'll speak to you soon.
That's right. You too. Cheers. Bye.
Take care.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later. Bye bye.